Shannon Sharpe, NFL Hall of Famer, sports commentator, cultural icon, a man who built his reputation on strength, precision, and unapologetic truth-telling. But now, he finds himself on the other side of the headlines, in the middle of a legal firestorm that could reshape everything the world thinks it knows about him. This is no minor controversy. This is the kind of story that keeps PR teams up at night, legal teams on edge, and fans questioning the legacy of a man who's been in the public eye for decades. In 2023, Michelle Evans, an ex-girlfriend of Sharpe, filed a defamation lawsuit that cracked open the past like a fault line. Her allegations weren't just personal, they were deeply disturbing. Evans claimed that her relationship with Sharpe, which she says lasted 10 years and ended in 2010, ended not just with heartbreak, but with violence. According to her, the breakup wasn't just messy, it was criminal. She alleged that Sharpe sexually assaulted her during the final days of their relationship. Her quote, "It shocked everyone, he wanted to make it so no other man would want me." That line alone made headlines, trended across social platforms, and set the stage for a legal battle that would dominate public discourse. But there's more to the story. Because almost immediately, Sharpe's legal team came out swinging. They didn't just deny the allegations, they dismantled the foundation they were built on. In their official statement, they painted Michelle Evans not as a victim, but as a woman with a dangerous obsession. They claimed her entire case was built on revenge, resentment, and a desire to destroy Sharpe's name because he moved on. The defense was brutal, strategic, and calculated. But it didn't stop there. In an explosive court document, Sharpe's legal team revealed something that turned the case on its head. Michelle Evans had served 3 years in prison for attempting to murder her husband. Not just an accusation, a conviction. The motive, they claimed? She wanted to be with Shannon Sharpe. According to them, she saw Sharpe as her escape from a life she no longer wanted. When that plan collapsed, they say she spiraled. This wasn't just character assassination, it was a direct strike at the credibility of her entire lawsuit. Suddenly, the public wasn't just looking at a he-said-she-said situation. They were looking at a woman with a violent past and a motive that changed the narrative completely. But just as Sharpe began to regain control of the story, another curveball hit. A second woman, referred to only as Jane Doe, filed a separate lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault. This new accusation, though separate from Evans' case, immediately triggered whispers of a pattern. Could Sharpe have a dark side the public never saw? Was this a coincidence, or was there more beneath the surface? Jane Doe claimed the assault occurred during what she said was a brief, manipulative relationship. She accused Sharpe of leveraging his power and celebrity status in a way that blurred the lines of consent. Sharpe didn't flinch. He called the new lawsuit a shakedown. According to his side, Jane Doe wasn't a victim, she was an opportunist. Court documents revealed that she allegedly demanded $10 million to keep the matter private. Sharpe refused. Instead of settling, he chose to fight, publicly, loudly, and aggressively. He maintained that the relationship was entirely consensual and that the lawsuit was an attempt to exploit his fame for financial gain. In a world where accusations can destroy reputations overnight, Sharpe's refusal to back down spoke volumes. But it also raised the stakes. With 2 lawsuits now in motion, the pressure was on. Sponsors grew silent. Networks watched carefully. Social media became a battlefield. Every word Sharpe said was dissected, every silence questioned. Then came the inevitable pause. Shannon Sharpe stepped away from the spotlight. He took a break from ESPN's First Take, where his debates with Stephen A. Smith had become legendary. His podcast, Nightcap, which had been pulling in millions of views, suddenly stopped releasing new episodes. For a moment, the world went quiet. Was this the end of Shannon Sharpe's media reign? But according to Sharpe, it's far from over. Sources close to his camp say he's planning a return to ESPN later this year, stronger, smarter, and ready to reclaim his seat at the table. But make no mistake, this isn't just about returning to sports commentary. This is about redemption. About legacy. About proving, in the court of law and the court of public opinion, that he's more than the accusations thrown at him. Still, the shadow remains. 2 women. 2 lawsuits. A legacy hanging in the balance. And the public? Divided. Some fans stand firmly behind him, citing his decades of integrity and his powerful presence in sports media. Others are cautious, wary of patterns, concerned by the gravity of the allegations. Because this isn't just about one man. It's about how society handles allegations, how we treat victims, and how we define justice in the age of virality. It's about the collision between fame and accountability. About what happens when a carefully built image begins to crack under pressure. But there's another layer, something deeper. This case touches on themes we often avoid: trauma, manipulation, truth, and the unreliability of memory. Both Evans and Jane Doe claim pain. Both believe their voices deserve to be heard. And yet, Sharpe insists he's the one being hunted. That his fame makes him a target. That the more successful he becomes, the more people try to bring him down. It's a narrative we've seen before in celebrity culture, but rarely with this much complexity, this much emotional weight, this many legal landmines. The legal process is still unfolding. Documents are sealed, motions are pending, and the court of law is moving slower than the court of public opinion. But make no mistake, every update in this case sends shockwaves. Sharpe's team is betting on the long game. They believe the facts are on their side. That the truth, no matter how messy, will clear his name. But whether the public agrees is a different story. What happens next could define more than just Shannon Sharpe's career. It could redefine how we view athlete accountability in the post-Me Too era. It could reshape how celebrities defend themselves when accusations go viral. And most importantly, it could determine whether Sharpe walks back into ESPN as a media juggernaut, or fades into scandal like so many before him. You've just entered the Midnight Feed, where we don't just cover stories, we dissect them. We follow the facts into the shadows. We ask the hard questions. And we never shy away from the uncomfortable truth. So if you want more breakdowns like this, if you want the real story, raw, unfiltered, and fearless, hit that subscribe button. Smash the bell icon. And stay locked in. Because in the midnight hour, the truth always finds the light. This is the Midnight Feed. And we're just getting started.